Mexico, MVD hearings are a civil component which are attached to a DWI. When a person is arrested for a DWI, they are also given a notice of revocation. That notice of revocation tells the driver that they need to request a hearing on their driving privilege in New Mexico within 10 days of being arrested. If they don't make the request, their license will automatically be revoked after 10 days. If they make the request, that goes to the MVD hearing office, and a hearing is set within 90 days of the date the person was arrested. At the hearing, the officers who were involved in the arrest will be subpoenaed, and the driver can represent themselves or they can be represented by an attorney. The hearing officer makes a determination at that time whether or not the officer had reasonable grounds to arrest the driver and whether or not the driver submitted a breath alcohol test over the legal limit of 0.08 or if they refused the test. If the hearing officer believes by a preponderance of the evidence that that did happen, then the revocation will be sustained and the driver will have to get an ignition interlock driver's license, which means they will have to have an ignition interlock installed in their vehicle and drive with it for a period of 6 months to 1 year, depending on whether it was an alcohol test or a refusal. Sometimes people who have an out-of-state driver's license don't think this will apply to them, but it does, because New Mexico is about affecting your driving privilege in the state, not just your license. So even an out-of-state licensed driver can have their privilege here revoked, and then they would still have to get the interlock installed. It's important to remember that 10-day deadline. If you don't make that request, you'll have an automatic revocation. Even if your license is revoked, though, it doesn't mean you can't drive. You can, you just have to get the interlock license and have the device installed in your car. This is something we do for our clients that we represent on a DWI, but if you haven't retained an attorney right away, you'll need to make that request yourself in order to maintain your privilege to have that hearing.